Progress Racing. Show us your tips, Daggy, flying solo to kick off 2023 with a midweek preview. A soft start to 2023, we'll say, but racing from Warwick Farm and Geelong this afternoon. At least it's something to bet on. We kick off at Warwick Farm on a good track, the rail and the true, quite firm. They'd only received a couple of mils overnight, but rain on the way this afternoon, we're told, just in time for the Sydney test. But not a bad meeting. If we don't get the rain, it may be tricky to make up ground there, but we'll keep an eye out throughout the afternoon. We kick off with very much a soft start. 4-year-old and up maiden over the 1,200 metres, where nothing of the race brigade really was getting me that excited. So I've gone with the two lightly raced one. Well, the debutante up the top there and a lightly raced, both in the same basket, debuting for the Chris Waller stable. Different Road is mapped to lead under J-Mac and has been backed early off a couple of okay trials. And Mezzadon, the top weight, who debuts with Nash on off the back of trials again. 5-year-old debutante, but I thought has ticked over okay since coming to the Wally Yard in his last couple of trials. Obviously Nash going on, I'm taking that as perhaps a second seed to J-Mac, but I think couldn't find anything to be jumping up down about from the more exposed horses, so they're the two I'm going to start the day with in the first. The second, similar story, similar tune here with, but this time I'm going to flip. I'm going to have Nash on top here on Ocean Honour. I like the debut there. Got out late, hit the line quite well. I think the step up to 1,400 metres suits, and its trials before its debut I thought were just about as good as step-asides, who it meets again here for beating at home. But at the price, it's 4 times the price, and I'm happy to back it each way from the favourite step-aside. And again, not a great deal I really wanted to charge into outside of those two, so I'll open the day with a Waller Gala in the first couple. The third, we go away from that a little bit, and we get a horse dropping back in grade in the benchmark 72 over the 1,400 metres. Apprentice race, and that's Elettrica, who just got bumped at a key stage coming back from back in the Sunshine in Paris race. Once it did balance up and get clear air, hit the line quite nicely, and I think that suits well for this race here. Back to Wednesday grade. Reece Jones in a claiming race is a tick, and clearly the horse to beat, actually, from Banana Queen, who gets Dylan Gibbons, the obvious other best apprentice in town. So 1 from 2 in race 3. The fourth, we get to the 2,200 metre staying race on the card, where Villaden, a fortnight back, found a race it had to win. It won, and won well enough, and it actually finds a weaker race. There's nothing else here I even remotely want to think about backing. So J-Mac sticks, and around the even money mark, I think is going to be very hard to beat again. The fifth is a 1,600 metre benchmark 72. I'm going to stick with the Duke of Buckingham here. Odd ride last time out. Jumped in front, sort of sat out there and looked at everything else. All of a sudden it was on the bend and going backwards, so not quite sure what the go was there. But the 2 wins before that here were very good. Claimer comes off, Nash goes on and gets the perfect run in what is, to me, an average race. And I think scratchings have helped that. I did go looking for Roosevelt as the obvious danger. It does need to win one now. We've been saying that for the best part of, 3 months now. So Duke Buckingham, keen, and Milky Buck hit at the top there, who was favourite when I did the form. Was going backwards both trials. I really couldn't see anything to get excited about there at all, apart from the fact I think they've just thought this is a gay leader, first up a mile, must have something up the sleeve. But I think the Duke does run quite well here, and is a nice betting chance. If you missed out last time, if you can get around the $5 mark there, good way to recoup some of that. The 6,000 metre benchmark 64. Yeah, I've got nothing to tell you here. I have no idea. I tried. I couldn't get a clear lead I wanted to follow, so I moved on. The 7th is a 1,400 metre benchmark 72, where I'm going to sing from the same hymn sheet I have been for most of the day. Nash rolls forward underneath these two on Huon. Blue colours just tried to thread the needle at Canterbury last time out. Didn't get clear air and just got nabbed by one that did. And now, according to the Racing New South Wales maps, he's going to be rolling forward up on pace there. He's going to be very hard to run past from Rock Ribbed, who looked like it needed every bit of 1,400 metres first up. I think that suits now. Swoopers, draw. You'd want to be seeing them make ground, but I think they're the main chances. I think they're the two best horses at this stage of their careers, and that's why I'm going to play the day. So for progretracing.com.au, and that whirlwind look at Warwick Farm, I'm going to make my best. Race 3, number 1, Elettra. All up race 4, number 3, Villaden. I did have my value as Duke of Buckingham, but has been backed overnight, so I'll make it race 2, number 9, Ocean Honour, to hopefully kick us off to the New Year's in nice style in Sydney. We head down to Geelong for a tricky card on a good track with the Rail True again. We know we get a Geelong, nice long straight. Everyone will get their chance, all that sort of stuff they go on about. But we kick off there with a 2,200 metre staying race, and I've learnt the hard way not to bet into 2,200 metre staying races. In fact, every time I think I've even thought about it, I've been punished for it. So I'm going to pass on this. Do your best here, punters, in the first. The second is a 1,700 metre maiden, though, with some much less exposed horses, and I think the market has singled out the clear two here. I'm actually going to flip them around. I'm going to have the top weight Disputed River on top of some nice trials. Most recently was pretty strong through the line, trialling alongside San Huberto, who obviously went to town and won on New Year's Day. But I think it runs well here from I'm a Believer, who has one day made its debut at 2,000. Trialled well enough for this. It's kicked it off here at 1,700 metres, so I assume it's just that's an out-and-out stayer, but I am clearly with those two as the main chances. We'll see where the market heads, but at this stage I'll probably back Disputed River. The third is a 1,400 metre maiden. And I like the trials of Patrick here for the Hayes team. Mickey D going on board, who's flying at the moment. Probably my favourite go-to jockey down south these days. And big strong bugger, he rolls along on the pace. He's pretty stylish in a few trials. I think gets the right race here, just dropping in behind Let's Roll for the Waterhouse team, and hopefully can just sort of roll into this nicely and, more importantly, win and pay around the $5 mark. So it on top clearly from Let's Roll, who does get that lead, and potentially a comfy one up there. And Quarter Let down the bottom around the each way price, I think has found the line quite nicely in all its jump outs, and I think it's a talented horse. Good little maiden. Hopefully we can follow a couple of these through the next few weeks as we head into summer. The fourth, 1,500 metre benchmark, 64. I'm sticking with the favourite here, Indifference. Absolute last chance, but it does drop right back in grade to 64. Ben Mellum on, mapped perfectly. Does get its chance here from El Cordobez, who ran along quite nicely first up. Conditioners came out there, but I think it was a nice run, and I think we'll win one or two of these this prep. Clear main danger for me. The fifth, 1,200 metre, 64 again. No, fifth is a 2,200 metre benchmark, 64. Look, I'm going to go. Actually, I'm going to bet this race. I'm going to back Flame of Venice at the each way price. Froggy's riding quite well down there at some of these meetings, out a bit wider. We'll roll along on pace there. Honest horse, and we've seen the form out of that last race back up with Minor Legacy going to the Valley and winning. I think this race suits it really well. Keen around the $6 mark, and very clearly the horse to beat for mine. And the only one I'm really going to talk about here, back at each way, should be fighting at the finish. The 6 is the 1,200 metre, 64. I am going to stick with the market here with Every Little Breeze, second up for the McAvoy team, around the $4 mark. Just looking now, it's been backed overnight and this morning, but looks a real line chaser. Was just trying to duck up the inside. Again, not always a comfortable watch when they try to thread the needle like that. Clear air here, and I like the way it's found a line every start, and going to be with it from a couple at a price. Sorrel Rising, good form through that first prep, and jump outs have been good around the $20 mark. And Dream Statement for Beaver's mate Paulie Pruska, again around $15. Last couple of pennies starting to drop. Fast little horse will roll along out in front. We'll need to run the 1,200 out, but it did quite comfortably last time out without a lot of pressure. Perhaps gets the same run here. So they're the two I'm going to play away from the favourite and cover in the 6th. The 7th, 1300 metre benchmark, 64. Invincible Bay on top for me at the current prices. I thought did have the perfect drop on the favourite here. They met last time out and key rival Savoury Sovereign, but found a line quite nicely there, and I think gets the same run again, and you can back it each way to do the same thing. So with it at the price from Mr. Invincible, who's 20s, and just got absolutely no chance at all last time out. Stuck back to the inside, was just starting to flow into the race nicely, and just a horror watch after that. Its win beforehand was pretty good. 20-1. It'll be my roughie on the card for those that like to live dangerously like I do. Savvy Sovereign, obviously, next best. The 8th, we're going to wrap up the day with Panache in a 1100 metre benchmark, 64. But another blue colours with a bit of a last chance here. I want to see how the track's playing. I'm imagining it's still fair from that gate, but hopefully can find a nice stalking spot off a short SP at Moonee Valley. Run off its feet a little there, so back up to 1100 will help. And a dropping grade obvious helps. Will run well. The main, and it's the only play I'll really look at in the card. Jamara, in the race I should say, Jamara lightly raced, main danger if I had to name one, resuming for the Marin Eustace team. But as I said, a soft start to 2023, as I'll make my best at Geelong, race 5, number 9, Flame of Venice. Keenan runs a race there at the each way price, and the value, race 7 at number 8, Mr. Invincible. That's it for my whirlwind look through racing this Wednesday afternoon. Good luck, Savo, guys. Stay safe, stay dry if you're in Sydney. And we'll be back, the Beaver will be back as well, hopefully, on Friday to look towards the road to Magic Millions, a kick-off meeting there at the Gold Coast. And we'll have Sydney and Melbourne racing to discuss. Good punning. Talk soon.